Hello, beautiful people. I hope you're doing wonderful and welcome back if you've been here before. And if you haven't, well, welcome. I'm so happy to see you here. Let's jump right into today's subject, which will be grief. I've been wanting to talk about it for a long time, but I never seem to find the words to describe, how I navigated it and what I found helpful. It is such a complicated and sometimes frustrating process that I just couldn't find the words, and I think I finally did. And so I'm sorry if for some of you it might not make much sense, but I really tried my best to sum up everything that really helped me and what I understood through the process of grief. So my first advice is don't feel bad about feeling what you need to feel. I remember when my grandma passed. She was my best friend, the love of my life. She is the strongest, most amazing woman, the most loving woman. We called her Mimi, so I'll just refer to her as Mimi because, well, that was her name. So Mimi was wonderful, and I remember when she passed of lung cancer years ago. She was a really big smoker. She'd been under treatment for, I think, 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. I remember when she passed, I was on holiday, and so I kind of had to postpone my grieving process because, well, I was with my partner at a time and his friends, and it was very awkward, and it was just not like, because of the environment and the people I was surrounded with, it was impossible for me to really feel what I needed to feel. And so when I came back, you would think, oh, finally you'll be able to, scream and cry and let it all out. But I wasn't able to right away because we had to make a stop because, well, we came back late and we had to make a stop at my partner's home before, and I didn't have the best relationship with his family, unfortunately, and so I couldn't feel what I needed to feel. And I remember, reality settling in and having to cry in silence and bite into a pillow because I didn't want to, make any noise and disturb them. So when I came home finally and I found myself all alone in my moldy little bachelor where I used to live, I remember I sat down on my chair in front of my little vanity desk and I looked around me and I went, she's gone. She's really gone. So, I forgot to mention, on holiday, I couldn't realize she was gone because, when you're on vacation, when you're on holiday, it's kind of like another universe. You're not in the same timeline, on the same, it's different. And so when you go back home, reality settles in, and I got very angry. I got very angry and frustrated, but mostly so sad and angry and hurt. I was angry that she was gone, that life had took her away from me, that she left while I was on vacation. It ruined my holiday. And you might think, okay, that's so untitled and that's terrible to think, but I needed to feel that in that moment. I needed to process that. Sometimes we feel in the moment, or when we're looking at other people's feelings, that they don't make sense, and you shouldn't feel that way. But grieving is such a complex feeling, complex process, I might say, and every kind of anger and frustration, I could feel I was just letting it all out in that moment. I was so angry. It was not fair. I was supposed to have a good holiday, and I was supposed to come back home and be able to hang out with my very best friend. I was supposed to tell her. I told her I would take pictures and show her when I came back. But when I did, she was gone. And some of you might feel like you, and some of you don't, but some of you might feel like you hate that person because you feel like they abandoned you. And I want you to say that it's okay. It's okay to feel that way. It's okay. And it's normal. You will make sense of these feelings, even though sometimes they don't make sense in the moment again, or from the outside looking in. If you're trying to help someone who's grieving and they're not really making sense with the way they feel, it would all make sense in the end, and it will pass. So when I was thinking my holiday was ruined. I had never been on holiday with my partner, and it was the first time, and it was really more, it was supposed to be our moment when I came back. I was supposed to come back to you, Mimi. I was supposed to tell her about it. And I couldn't, and I felt angry. Like, why didn't you wait for me? As if she could control it. But in that moment, I needed to feel that anger because it was leading me to acceptance, understanding that she was really gone, that she wouldn't come back, that there would be no more holding her hand while we watch her show, Dr. House. But it was necessary. I needed in that moment to feel angry at her and at life and at God, question mark, at whoever, where, everyone. I was angry. It was not fair. And segueing off of this, I obviously felt bad for being angry at her in the moment. And then I felt bad because, life goes on. You sometimes you do need to go to work. You do need to go to school. You do need to interact with people. And you know what? Sometimes life's funny. People are funny. You'll laugh and you'll genuinely have fun even though you're grieving. And like I said, I segueing off that, I felt bad because I was happy sometimes, because I was laughing, because people said funny things and it made me laugh because I'm a giggly girl. And I was thinking, I shouldn't be feeling that way. I shouldn't be laughing. I should be crying. Is it because I don't miss her? Is it really, do I not care that she's gone? And of course I missed her. And of course I still do every single day in my life. But what helped me? And look, you don't have to believe it. You can skip over this part of the video if you don't believe in, a loved one sending signs and stuff. But I do believe that believing in that, holding on to that belief, helped me through grief. So hear me out. I remember thinking that these moments of joy are sent by her. I remember thinking it's probably her who sent this person, this funny customer, or, this beautiful blue sky to make me smile. And suddenly I didn't feel as bad for being happy or feeling happiness. Now, what also helped me. So you know how I said sometimes you need to go to work, you need to interact with people, you need to go to school. And I think making sure that you do go out, of course, take some time for yourself. If it is possible for you, you know, take some time to write, to talk, and I'll get to that. But make sure you go out and you take yourself out. Sometimes force yourself out of that headspace. See it as a torn muscle or a sore back, okay? You know how the massage therapist or the chiropractor will massage your articulation, and it's very painful. And see that as you writing and meditating and crying and screaming and, you know, feeling all these feelings of grief. But you know how they also say, oh, make sure you rest also. Make sure you lay down flat, you know, make sure you rest your back too, you know. See that as going out with friends or going to work or going to school, forcing yourself out of this mindset for a moment where you're not solely thinking about the death of your loved one. You know, I think it is important to interact with people and have, at least for me, it really helped. Making sure I was thinking about something else so I could ease my aching heart. Let it have a little rest from feeling so intensely. Now, through going out and through working and going to school, it's also important to talk about it. And it's not necessarily, you know, talking about how sad you were or talking about how you're feeling so much pain. It is important to talk about this. But I remember thinking, you know, I've been telling my best friend all about how sad I am. I think she knows now. I think she understands that she needs to treat me with care, and that, you know, and I don't want to, you know, always be like a, how would I put that? But, you know, like always be down, because it takes sometimes months. And I can't have all my conversations with my best friend be about how sad I am that my grandma passed. So sometimes instead, of course we would have other discussions, but I think you understand what I mean. I would ask her, can I tell you about my grandma? And of course she would say yes, because she's amazing. Her name is Abby. And so I would tell Abby about my grandma. I would tell her how strong she was, and how funny, hilarious of a woman she was. Oh my goodness, all the funny memories we had, all the crazy things that happened in her life, how she was attacked by a bear, and if you only knew. Incredible woman. But instead of always focusing or having the memory of her be attached to the sadness I felt, the grief and the death, and I would try to shift it to, yes, I am sad, I'm grieving, but do you remember, but can I tell you about that one time my grandma, I don't know, like her hair was set on fire by sprinklers. True story. It was crazy. But you know, like, I wanted to honor her memory too through that. And you know what? Sometimes I don't have many friends. I'm very, very peculiar with who I let into my circle, and so sometimes I would talk to myself. I would recount stories, go, oh my god, I remember that one time, would talk in my head, or that really, really helped for me. I know it's not for everyone, so there's meditation, there's, you know, working out also that works, but for me, was writing it down, you know, like a biography. some sort, but a little messier and with a lot of typos. But it was like retelling how, oh, I'm really sad, but I want to talk about that one time. Da, 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 da. And, you know, talking to family who are also grieving about good memories you have of that loved one. And, you know, it's okay if through that you cry. I still cry sometimes talking about funny memories I had with my grandma, and I miss her terribly, but I'm okay. I really am okay. And that leads me to my last point. Know that time will not heal everything, but it will ease the pain tremendously. Now, when I think of my grandma, or when I'm sad and I miss her, I'm not in pain anymore. That pain I felt that day I came home after my vacation, and that followed me for weeks and months, it's not there anymore. It's probably replaced by peace. I'm at peace with the situation, and I'm happy she finally gets to rest. And look, again, you can believe whatever you want, but I like to hold on to the belief that now she can run around and she can dance and she can sing and she can smoke cigarettes if she wants and it won't literally kill her. She can do whatever she wants, okay? And she's happy and she's healthy and she's in her mother's arms that she missed so dearly. And through all the things I told you, know that time will ease your pain. It really will. And it might feel like an eternity, but it really isn't. I promise you will be okay. And if you feel like it is getting so overwhelming that you do not have the resources, please, please reach out. Reach out to a loved one. Reach out to a professional who will have the tools to help you. And you will be okay.
Hey, it's me again, post editing Ame. I just thought I would give you a proper outro. I don't want to rush out of it. It was a hard subject for me to talk about, but a very important one, and I was very nervous to film it. Very sick right now. I apologize. But I really do hope it helped at least a little bit to know that you're not alone going through the process of grief. And if you did enjoy the video, please like it, leave a comment, you know, so we can open a beautiful discussion on the subject. And you can subscribe also if you like my content. I posted already 2 other videos that have to do with the same subject. Well, it's not subject, but the same realm of, you know, self-love and processing your emotions and keeping a healthy circle around you. Anyway, I just think you might, if you like this video, you might like my other videos. I'm rambling on, but I really do hope it helped at least a little bit. And if it did, make sure you subscribe. Okay, I'll let you go now. I need to go rest. Take care.